Off the beaten path in Kalamazoo, there's your average, unassuming green building. Now, if you were driving past this building, you probably wouldn't even look twice. But you should, because inside of this average building, there's something so rare, one of the only wooden clockmakers in the world. Hear that light tick, tock? It's coming from the bearings of a soon-to-be wooden clock. It's a sound that Kalamazoo clocksmith Rick Hale is pretty proud of.
I found ways to use wood in almost every important aspect, including the bearings. People are usually surprised when I tell them I use wooden bearings where the things rotate.
Surrounded by like-minded carpenters in this shared space, Rick works on custom wood clocks daily. His business name is Clockwright, and his art is one that you can only find at a handful of places in the world.
So, yeah, it's pretty rare, getting rare potentially.
Crafting wooden clocks is a practice from the 1700s. Today, most every clock you see is made from brass or steel.
So I can kind of try to honor people that have worked in wood back in the 1700s, 1800s, but also try to push it forward and put my own spin on things.
Rick spends an average of 800 to 1,000 hours on each of his clocks. Every timepiece is made with different woods and a specific technique.
There's a wood called lignum vitae. It's a very rare, dense wood. It's one of the hardest and heaviest woods in the world, and it's very oily. It's just kind of self-lubricating, so I find I can use that wherever there's sliding friction in the clock.
This type of ingenuity has generated much curiosity about Rick's work. After working with customers across the country, he's now working on multiple orders to be shipped across the world.
It's kind of crazy. It doesn't really feel real yet. I think once I've completed a few clocks and delivered them that far abroad, it'll feel a little bit more like this is actually happening.
Rick is very grateful to live off of his passion, with enough work to keep him busy for the next 2 years. As one of the only wooden clockmakers left in the world, his only wish is to grow in his craft and encourage others.
Do you think there's honestly anyone else in the world who does it as much as you do?
Yeah, there aren't many, but the ones that are there are very helpful and very willing to teach the younger generation, kind of keep the craft going.
Now, once again, Rick is booked 2 years out, so if you are interested in working with him, you can. It's just going to take some time. I've put his information and his fellow woodsmiths on our website. Reporting in Kalamazoo, Sarah Grimmer, Fox 17 News.